Long ago, the world was beautiful, but people forgot about God and filled their hearts with mean thoughts. God saw the sadness and decided the world needed a fresh start. In the darkness, one man still remembered God, Noah. Noah loved God, listened to him, and tried to do what was right, even when no one else did. God saw Noah and his family and was glad. God shared a secret plan with Noah. A great flood would come to wash the world clean. But God's plan was also a rescue. He would save Noah, his family, and the animals. God asked Noah to trust him and prepare for a big job. Noah listened and trusted God, ready for whatever came next. This was the start of an incredible adventure, a story of a big boat, a big flood, and God's even bigger love. Noah didn't hesitate. He was ready to do what God asked. God chose Noah because of his faith and hope. The world was about to change, but God's love would remain. And so the adventure began. God told Noah to build an ark, a giant floating house. He gave Noah exact instructions: how long, how wide, how tall, and what wood to use. Noah and his sons worked hard, chopping trees and fitting wood together day after day. People laughed at Noah for building a boat on dry land, but he kept listening to God. The ark grew bigger and stronger, a promise taking shape. They covered it with tar to keep out the water. It stood tall, ready for its special purpose. Noah and his family finished the ark, tired but full of hope. They had obeyed God, and the boat was ready for its passengers. The ark was a symbol of trust and faith. Noah's hard work showed his love for God. The world didn't understand, but Noah did. The next part of God's rescue plan was about to begin. With the ark ready, it was time for the passengers, 2 of every kind of animal. God called the animals, and they came: tall giraffes, big elephants, lions, birds, and even tiny mice. They walked, crawled, and flew up the ramp, 2 by 2, peaceful and calm. Noah and his family guided them to their places inside the ark, the boat filled with the sounds and colors of every creature. When the last animal entered, God himself closed the door. Noah, his family, and all the animals were safe inside. The world outside was unchanged, but inside they waited for what God would do next. The ark was full, the door was shut, and the rescue was ready. God's plan was unfolding, and everyone was in their place. The adventure was about to reach its stormy part. Noah trusted God, even as the world grew quiet. They waited for the rain. For 7 days they waited in the ark. Then rain began to fall, first softly, then pouring down. Water rose, lifting the ark off the ground. The rain didn't stop for 40 days and nights. Water covered everything. Inside, Noah's family cared for the animals, feeding and cleaning, working together. The ark rocked gently, but they were safe and dry. Outside, the world was a vast ocean, but inside there was hope. They sang, prayed, and trusted God to keep them safe. The ark was more than a boat. It was a promise. God was their captain, guiding them through the storm. Even in the biggest flood, God's love held them close. The storm raged, but the ark floated on. They waited for the world to change. At last the rain stopped and the water slowly went down. The ark came to rest on a mountain. Noah sent out a raven, then a dove, searching for dry land. When the dove returned with an olive leaf, hope returned. Finally, the dove didn't come back. It had found a new home. God told Noah it was time to leave the ark. Noah, his family, and all the animals stepped onto fresh, clean earth. They breathed in the new world, grateful and joyful. Noah built an altar to thank God for his protection. God placed a rainbow in the sky, a promise never to flood the whole world again. The rainbow was a sign of hope and God's everlasting love. God's promise was for everyone, forever. A new beginning had come, and God's love would always keep them safe.